Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare.
Welcome to the Purely Prabhupada channel. This series is called Reality Distinguished from Illusion for the Welfare of All. My name is Kamra, Devi, Dasi, and I'm a disciple of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. And this is the 21st video of this series, and it's called What is Success? In 1970, Srila Prabhupada went to Tokyo to speak with the officials of Dai Nippon Printing Company regarding the printing of his books. A junior executive met Srila Prabhupada and the two disciples who were with him and brought them into the meeting room. So there were 6 top Dai Nippon executives present, and they each introduced themselves and gave Srila Prabhupada their business cards before they discussed the subject matter at hand. In Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, Volume 1, Chapter 31, the author writes, "When Srila Prabhupada was again alone in the room with his disciples and the junior executive who had escorted him, he asked the young Japanese, 'So what is your goal in life?' By way of answer, the man gathered up all the business cards that lay scattered before Prabhupada that were on the table, and he stacked them with the president's business card on top and the next person in line, the business card below that, and he put his own card in place on the bottom. He then dramatically removed his card from the bottom of the stack and slapped it on top, a graphic answer to Prabhupada's question. Prabhupada smiled. To become president of the company, he said, was temporary. All material life was temporary. He explained on the basis of Bhagavad Gita that the body was temporary and that the self was eternal. All the identities and positions people hankered after were based on the bodily conception of life and would one day be frustrated. The purpose of life, therefore, was not to become the temporary president of a temporary corporation within the temporary material world, but to realize the eternal soul's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and gain eternal life. So what can we take with us at the time of death? Not a diploma, not a PhD, not a gold watch, not a house, not an estate. But people work so hard to achieve what's temporary. So what is success? We observe our peers and the idols of our youth aging and passing away. So many names, so many memories of the past, so many experiences, so many things we have achieved or hope to achieve in this material realm. What have we really accomplished? Of all our efforts, what has permanency? What lasts beyond the lifespan of this body? Only our endeavors to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even if they appear to happen by chance or unknowingly, have progressive benefit that carries on beyond the current body. We can perform devotional service to Krishna by conscious effort, by our willful choice, and sometimes there's what is called agyata sukriti, where pious or devotional activity that's performed unknowingly, but that gives equal benefit. An example of agyata sukriti would be chanting the name of Ram unknowingly, even if that holy name is embedded in the name of a business or some other enterprise, like the word panorama. My godbrother, Sariputta, was internally aware that his spiritual life had begun when he was inspired to pick up a Krishna poster from the floor in a Cornell University bookstore and replacement on its display easel. There's also the very famous story of the intoxicated man who walked into the early New York City temple and put a roll of toilet paper into the bathroom. And Prabhupada witnessed this and remarked that his spiritual life had begun. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, writes in his Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text 40, regarding devotional service to God. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution, and a little advancement on this path can protect one from the most dangerous type of fear. And in his purport or explanation to this verse, Srila Prabhupada explains, activity in Krishna consciousness or acting for the benefit of Krishna without expectation of sense gratification is the highest transcendental quality of work. Even a small beginning of such activity finds no impediment, nor can that small beginning be lost at any stage. Any work begun on the material plane has to be completed, otherwise the whole attempt becomes a failure. But any work begun in Krishna consciousness has a permanent effect, even if not finished. The performer of such work is therefore not at a loss, even if his work in Krishna consciousness is incomplete. 1% done in Krishna consciousness bears permanent result, so that the next beginning is from the point of 2%, whereas in material activity, without 100% success, there is no profit. There is a nice verse in this connection in Srimad Bhagavatam, 1st canto, 5th chapter, text 17, and Prabhupada's quoting this in this purport. If someone gives up his occupational duties and works in Krishna consciousness and then falls down on account of not completing his work, what loss is there on his part? And what can one gain if one performs his material activities perfectly? Or as the Christians say, what profiteth a man if he gain the whole world, yet suffer the loss of his eternal soul? And then Srila Prabhupada continues, material activities and their results end with the body, but work in Krishna consciousness carries a person again to Krishna consciousness, even after the loss of the body. At least one is sure to have a chance in the next life of being born again as a human being, either in the family of a great cultured Brahmin or in a rich aristocratic family that will give one a further chance for elevation. That is the unique quality of work done in Krishna consciousness. Thank you for listening, and please visit purelyprabhupada.com.
If you are interested in the subject matter of this video and would like to learn more, please visit purelyprabhupada.com. Ancient truths for the upliftment of the modern world.